the Executive Director of Moose Jaw Family Services, Inc., and she has worked in this role since July 1st, 2020. Previously, she worked for 17 years at Prairie South School Division in different roles, including counselor, program facilitator, and behavior consultant. She is passionate about helping others, counseling children and youth, and creating new programs. So, Brenda, I turn it over to you, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Perfect, thank you. And I'm going to introduce Roxy. So we've worked together for about that 17 years. Yeah. And yeah, so I'm lucky enough to have her as the chair of the board here to help me keep my passion going and support. And so she's here to support me today. And yeah, anyway.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I was just a member at large, and when everything kind of shook up and changed, I kind of shook out here, and I'm just thankful Vicky Riendo is in the chirping of my ear. You need a motion, Roxy. Yeah, she's so good. We're so lucky to have Vicky Riendo here. What's her title?
Financial coordinator.
Financial coordinator, yeah. But also she sure helps out in many ways. So, yeah.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a little bit about Moose Jaw Family Services. We're busy, we're evolving all the time, and I had to share this absolutely wonderful picture. We're in such a I talk too much today. I'm going to be stumbling over my words. We are in such a beautiful location that we have our nature around us. So it's quite regular that when we come in the morning, we poke our heads out to do a few things, and we have the delight to view the nature. So I had to share that wonderful picture of some of the things that we see around here. So we are, Moose Jaw Family Services is a registered nonprofit organization, and we've provided services to people of Moose Jaw and the surrounding area since 1972. So we've definitely grown, we've evolved, we've met different gaps within the community, and we're continuing to do that. So we're here to listen and support the community through all of life's challenges, and whatever the challenges are that they're facing, we just want to be here. And we really focus on a strength-based and client-centered program, services, workshops, and groups to help people build resiliency, develop skills and knowledge, and gain confidence to make positive changes in our lives. And our goal really is to support, educate, and empower and strengthen individuals and families. So we really strive to do this through sitting with lots of different partnerships, collaborating with different people, listening to the community and to the people that we serve. And we aim to adapt our programming and provide the services that are needed to support the community. So we really look for the gaps. I feel like at Moose Jaw Family Services, just because we are fairly general, that we do have the ability to take on different things that maybe other places can't. And so we do aim to serve holistically with intention and clarity. And so we want to look at all aspects of people's lives. We don't just focus on the counseling piece and bang, that's it. We want to look at, nurturing them right from their basic needs and working our way up to ensure that people are supported. So we have provided a wide range of counseling, programming, supports, and education to families and individuals. So we continuously focus to look for grants and service agreements to provide as much programming as we can, and of course, as free as we potentially can, because we know that there's a large amount of barriers to services. And so we want to make counseling free. We want to make our groups free. We want to make everything as accessible as we potentially can, even looking for transportation grants so people can make their way here, or money to purchase program supplies and things like that. So, you want to talk about this one?
Sure. So basically, before we move forward with this slide, and it'll kind of tie into when I talk about that letter from the chair. But 2 years ago, 5 years ago, when Brenda said, you're coming on this board, you don't have a choice. But so we looked, and there was a lot of people doing a lot of good work. and the ever-changing world of counseling and service delivery has just got so many exciting things about it, but very big challenges. So when Brenda took over, there was just this deep, heavy, for her, 12 hours a day, around the clock kind of look inward from the deepest part of each of the people here to our board, to the staff, to the community. And so it sounds like this fits in really well with you guys and the mandate where we're looking at the whole community. So I really am excited about this, but like Brenda's worked very hard to create the mission statement, the vision, and look through all that. And well, although exciting and like basically ground up from the inside out, walls and structure and everything's changed, but the hard questions and those hard conversations that when you go through something like that, that kind of a change in a building like this, everyone involved ever changed. So it's been really kind of interesting. And for someone that didn't really want to, I've learned a great deal. So is with very huge pride that I share some of the stuff that Brenda has put together so eloquently. So the vision here is empowering individuals and families. The mission statement is to welcome, and she had this vision that she wanted it to be seen as a place. There's a place, okay, when somebody needs something, they can come here, there's going to be help. And the first thing she did was she was ripping down stuff and painting, and her mom was here, hey mom, and painting and doing and bringing in new furniture and everything, and then having individual talks with each of the staff. So this wasn't just something that she drummed up with, you know, and with the board. So the values and the mission statement came from kind of grassroots and up. So the values is advocacy, leadership, respect, and stewardship. So those are they're big bills.
Right. So because of COVID, I know a lot of people have not been coming through, and I invite every single one of you to contact me, pop in if you have any questions, if you want to come check the place out. Everybody is welcome to come. We really have strived to make our environment here as comfortable and as inviting as possible. And so we've gotten lots of comments from people where it's like, I walk in here and I kind of feel like I'm at home. And that's exactly what I want our staff to feel, and I want our clients to feel as well when they come through this building. We have put a lot of work here on the main floor and a few rooms upstairs, and we definitely need to keep updating because it hasn't been touched in probably about 13 years. Thank you again to all our volunteers who have come in and donated their time in putting together and furniture and painting and cleaning and all that kind of stuff to get this up and going. So I'm hoping that this works. So I'm just going to take you on a really, really quick tour of our building. There we go. So most of those rooms have been a redone one. I think the pictures look better than it does in real life. But I wanted to kind of highlight what our counseling rooms look like, what our staff rooms look like from where they're working, some of our visiting rooms where people can relax, or we run smaller groups and things like that, and our updated boardroom as well. So we want to be able to partner and have people coming and going and utilizing our space as much as we can. I want to see ourselves, there's not a lot of services here on South Hill, and I really want to see ourselves being almost like that South Hill community hub, but that we're just open, available to everybody. So we're going to delve a little bit into our programming. So we have had additional programming since we've come, and I guess we'll start kind of with that, except for I have to move you guys over here. There we go. All right. So our programming, that looks really large. Anyways, so our counseling, we provided to all ages. Prior to me coming, they just kind of were adults, and that's where they were comfortable. So we have opened our doors to youth and to children. We are quite exploding in that area, especially with the anxiety and stuff around COVID and staying at home for that 1 year and now trying to transition back. So we're having a lot of kids, you know, coming in and out of our doors, which I'm so, it's like revisiting home for me. So it's in a world where it's kind of new. That's my comfort for me. So I'm really happy that I can still provide those services. Yeah, and of course we try to provide that as free as we can. So we do have free child and youth counseling right now through the CIF, and so that will be provided. I've also applied for adults as well, so that we hope that we get that grant so we can provide that. But we do charge on a sliding scale here and try to remain as affordable as possible. This year, new to us, we have the Moms and Dads group. And so each of those runs separate. Moms group runs one Wednesday and Dads group runs the next Wednesday. And so this started about mid-September, and we are excited to have this as part of our programming. I think it falls really well into the clientele that we have here. And really, parenting can be tough, as you have to raise kids, and at the same time, you have to take care of financial needs and other issues that come into their lives. And so we just want to really be a place where moms and dads can meet and just talk about being a parent. So it's really about peer support. So this is a group for new parents, experienced parents, and single parents to come and talk and connect, get some education, and have a little bit of fun. So it's a relaxed atmosphere that allows parents and children to have socialization and support in a friendly environment. And so they do meet twice a month, and this does go on to June. And we have educational activities like parenting styles, self-care, resources in the community, developmental stages, and things like that, which this also includes peer support, childcare, and kid and family-friendly activities. And of course, always looking for volunteers to help provide some of that childcare. New to us this year too is we have the active parenting. And so there are 3 groups that are currently running. We have the first 5 years. And we're running this about 5 times in the year, and it'll, as of right now, it's set up as workshops on Saturdays. And so this covers things like styles of parenting, ages and stages of development, building a bond with your child, and choice, you know, learning about their brain, using nonviolent discipline, using encouragement, choices and consequences, and caring for the caregiver, and also setting kids up for school success. So that's your first 5 years. Then we have active parenting for ages 5 to 12. And this goes through being the active parenting, having styles of parenting, you know, problem solving, communication, responsibility and discipline, building courage and self-esteem, understanding and redirecting misbehavior, and active parenting for school success. And then our last active parenting that we have is the teens, and it also it's quite similar in the topics, but it talks about teens today and still going into styles of parenting, control versus influence, cooperation, who owns the problem, again, responsibility and discipline, building courage, redirecting misbehavior, Then it goes into drugs, sexuality, and violence. And so that we try to, these are very researched programs that have been highly effective in providing education to parents. So we wanted to carry that on within here. So that each of those run about 5 times in the year. Of course, we might have to get a little bit more creative with Zoom. We have running out of here, which is a little bit on hold too because of COVID, but I do the parenting after separation and divorce, and I've been doing that for about 17 years, and it's run out of here. It is probably my most favorite and dedicated thing to do. I think it's an important program. I'm mostly there to advocate for the kids, so I kind of call the parents out on stuff, but it is a court mandated course, and it focuses on things like stages of separation and divorce, children's reactions, how to support the children in their developmental stages, pre and post separation relationships, new relationships, and really how to parent together after separation and divorce, in hopes that well, the goal is so that the parents will get along, so the kids transition a little bit easier. The next program we have is our young parent program, and so that runs on Thursdays from 4 to 6, and this is for ages about 16 years of age and older, and this is, oh geez, yeah, so we provide transportation, we typically provide meals, but in this whole anti-vax, vaccination, who's where, we kind of went, you know what, we're just not going to eat right now to stay safe. But that also kind of provides that information. So there is a little bit more in-depth support for those young parents. There's some one-on-one contact with the program coordinator. They get together and they do have that peer support piece, but there's a lot of education that goes through that. So even within that program, they get the 0 to 5 active parenting, as well as we provide support in regards to providing vouchers and making sure that their basic needs are being met. We have a resume writing service here as well, and so it is a phone, making an appointment and come on in, and Desiree does the young parent, but she also does the resume, and she writes wonderful resumes here. We've gotten a lot of great feedback from employers that comes back via the clients that come in and get those resumes done. So she also assists in helping them set up on SAS Jobs so that they know how to do that online. They leave here with the resume being emailed to them, but also with resumes in their hands. And if they need more, they can always call, pop back, and come pick up some more. Oh, and also how to look for a job at the job bank. One of our main and most active programs here is our family support program. And so this one is actually only accessible for the referrals from the Ministry of Social Services. So those are direct referrals coming from the ministry, where the Ministry of where Social Services has had to be involved in the home. And so it could be done because of apprehensions or concerns within the home. And the family services offer support to reduce risk and build on family strength. And it focuses on healthy development of families and children to achieve following goals: to ensure the safety of children, to maintain the family unit whenever safe and possible, to ensure healthy reunification of the children with their family whenever safe and possible. So we have about, I think we're at 19 family support workers. So ever since I've been here, that program, we've had to hire seven family support workers, just because of the amount of referrals that are coming through. So the diversion program is also with the family support, but this one is accessible at 0 cost to participants, but this one does not have to be referral the Ministry of Social Services. It could be parents or referral from the community anywhere for families to come in and get that same support. And so it's to kind of offset or do an early intervention if there are issues within the home and provide that support. So it's about effective parenting strategies, maybe parent-teen cooperation if there's some issues that are happening there, new problem-solving, coping skills. You know, we've had some families that have difficulty getting their kids up and going in the morning, and so those are some of the referrals that kind of come our way too. Or if there's high conflict that's happening in the home, or they're having difficulty with discipline with their kids. So those are the referrals that we do get from the community, or even self-referral. And so they make sure that they're helping with living a healthy lifestyle, establishing and maintaining positive relationships, and connecting them to resources within the community. And so it is by appointment, and it is provided short term. And so that usually lasts anywhere from 3 to 6 months. And once they have met their desired outcome, then they usually transition out. We do provide some supervised visits and drop-offs, and that's usually through the community or referral over here as well, in which they can set up. We also charge on a sliding scale for that. So some of the visits could be just a transition from one parent to another parent because they need somebody to assist with that. It's been supervised visits with the families, and it's also just been, you know, parent visits here within our building. Last year, we started Project Warmth, and so this one was a pretty simple one, but it seemed to make sense. We just take donations of winter clothing, bedding, blankets, tents, whatever, and we just leave it on our front deck. And so any winter clothing, those kind of things. So it's kind of accessible to our clients that do come in. So they'll grab a pair of, you know, kids' boots and things like that, or else we have it out there for the homeless. Because I know that lots of them like go down to Waccamaw and stuff like that. So we, in talking with the John Howard too, we decided that it would be really nice to have a place on South Hill that would be accessible for people rather than having to walk downtown. So we do take donations for that. We do have some group programming, and so this does fluctuate. So we do look for grants for that, and we get feedback from committees. We look at the trends within our clients and trends within our community. And so there's a few of these groups that we did run with our grants. Yeah, sorry, it's down there. So we did run the youth DBT. That one's not quite wrapped up yet. I am doing the second round coming in November. So that's an intensive for at-risk youth to either keep them in school, if there's issues with behaviors, drugs, alcohol. So we really dive in, and there's about 10 group sessions and 3 individual counseling sessions for that. So we do have one more. I did the empowerment program. So I did about 8 groups or 8 classrooms in the schools last year. And that was about self-regulation, self-esteem, calming skills, focus, those kind of things. So that was provided to us by the Community Initiatives Fund and Canada Post. South Saskatchewan Community Foundation applied for this. We were seeing a huge gap in seniors being able to connect during COVID and feeling lonely. And so we created this group of Seniors Connection and Resiliency. So that ran from January until the end of March, I think. And so that provided a venue for people to get together. We did that at Zion, so it was nice and large in the basement that people could self-distance. We ran Navigating Relationships through COVID because there were people that were just struggling on how to connect during that time. So we kind of took the basis of the love languages and then kind of broke it down from there on how they could still foster relationships and connect. We brought in IT to help people learn how to navigate and set up FaceTime, like anything that they needed in order to be able to connect and foster relationships throughout, you know, when we were all isolated. We ran Frustration Tolerance. So that was an anger management group that we ran 3 times. And that was because we were seeing a large trend of referrals and clients coming in with anger. What else can I tell you? There's so much stuff, right? So we do the living independent skills, and that's for 16 to, I don't know, we haven't really capped it yet. But that really focuses on developing skills on how to live independently. So that's budgeting, how to pay rent, how to set up your bills, like whatever they might need in order to be able to be successful living on their own. Usually those are Section 10 kids that are referred our way. We have a voucher program, so I regularly get grants from the Moffat. We've used the United Way as well with the COVID, and we provide $10 vouchers, and depending on the amount of people in the family, we provide that. So it gives fresh veggies, fruit, and dairy to families that may not be able to afford that. We have an emergency food hamper as well, and so that's supplied through the Maison, and we use some of our child nutrition to supplement some of that as well. So our families that are struggling, they can come in and get some non-perishable food items in a hamper. We usually try to give about 3 to 5 meals per family for that. Last summer, we were lucky enough to get a grant from the United Way, and so that's where we built that outdoor play area, and that has been a huge asset to Moose Jaw Family Services because families have been able to play with their kids in a fun environment that is still confidential, and well, it's gated in, so if you got a lot of kids, it's like easier to herd the cats in there, right? So they really love that, and we've actually done some counseling and stuff out there for people who desire to kind of sit outside and relax. So it's a huge asset here. We usually do a Christmas toy hamper, and every year we get donations from the base, from the community, and places like that. Last year we partnered with Monkey Bars. I got a grant from the Caring through the South Saskatchewan Community Foundation, and we had 4 months of a contract with them at $500 a month for unlimited use for our families here. And so we've done supervised visits up there, but they were great to build a Christmas tree for us up there, and all donations that they got for that up there went right back to us to give to our families. Yeah, and trauma response. And so over the summer, there was discovered there used to be a trauma response team here in Moose Jaw, and so that's kind of been a little bit reactivated here. So we're kind of working on that with, oh my goodness, Della, help me out. So I just lost her name. Victim Services.
Victim service. It's not going to come to me either. Tracy?
Anyways, I'll think of it at 2 o'clock in the morning. I feel so bad. But I got contacted over the summer about a trauma response. And so from there, we decided that we would kind of team up and start building that back in the community again. We've also been really lucky enough to partner with the Regina Sexual Assault Center, which actually originated out of our PAV, Partners Against Violence. That had been something that, like, Donna Mondo and several people had been really working hard at having, and so we were lucky enough to be the chosen place for us to have that satellite office here. So she's down anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week to provide that specialized service within the community. I think that's all I have going on. We got Monkey Bars again, so we have a 10-month contract this year, in which case everyone is so delighted. So
Yeah.
all right, Roxy, we're big talkers, so sorry.
But I think one of the things is with Brenda's experience with our working for the education and lots of years of partnerships. I think avoiding the barrier, like one of the things we're always trying to do is avoid barriers to service. And I know everyone is. I know we all are. It's what we are all trying to do, and then manage with a safe and effective boundaries where we are actually able to afford what we're doing. So we have really leaned a lot on one of our board members, Betty Kettle. She's been a rock star at the financials, and then Vicki Riando, who works with Brenda here. But it's really holistic. It's very hands-on. They're constantly reevaluating how to make it barrier-free or as free as you can humanly do that. All the good people out in all the other agencies have been incredibly supportive of us. Health, education, all of you. It's been quite exciting to watch us all kind of work together. Eh? So for me, it's just been so fun to watch, and kind of a dream come true to watch how we're all trying to figure this out and do what we can to do the best we can with what we have, right? So we really appreciate the financials here today and exposure, because it is like been revived, and it's really important that we are, you know, that we are being used. The staff here run off their feet. Brenda wants to hire lots more, so that's one of the things that would be, you know, any money coming in would be used to continue to enrich the programs and have more staff to do it with. So
and that leads right to my community partners. And you know, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. I don't think I've ever felt more supported in my life and anything that I have ever done. I can give a quick call to any of these people and they would have an answer for me. And you know, the thing that I love about Moose Jaw and I love about our agencies, you look at other places and everybody's always trying to compete with each other for grants or compete with each other for this. But I mean, here in Moose Jaw, we just lift each other up, right? We don't try to take over. We don't try to do anything. And I know that we'll continue to grow and we'll continue to add programming, not necessarily from the work that we're doing internally, but it is from all of our current community partners that help support us and send people our way, and we send people to them. It's really, when I say partnerships, it really is. I feel like you can link hands between all of these, and we're just trying our best to wrap our arms and around our community. So what we're aiming to, and this is why I'm grateful for this, is we do have some huge gaps that we're trying to scramble through right now that I feel are somewhat emergent. Our number one right now is our car seats for transportation of children in the family support program. Most of ours are starting to expire, and we have probably a total of, I think the numbers were about 430 like people total in our family support program. So we're probably looking at transporting between everybody about 300 kids during the week or every second week. So with those coming to an expiry date, right, we want to be safe and we want to be accountable, and lots of these workers are sharing some of these car seats right now, and as we know, they're very, very expensive. They're not within our budgets that are given to us, so we do have to fundraise or beg and plead or something for these things. Another gap that we're looking at too is I really want to purchase the workbooks for the active parenting workshops. They run about anywhere from $25 to $35 depending on the program. They do come in and they do get some handouts, but they don't get the workbook, and they don't get I don't know, the other book, workbook, and the regular book, and which is a huge asset for them to have, because then they can take it home and they continue to read, and that information is there rather than just trying to absorb it in one day. Especially if the family support workers are working with them and refer them, then they can work on that together. So they come, they get that workshop piece of it, and then those two team up afterwards to work together through the workbook and the manual. That's the word I'm looking for. And so
it is a huge barrier for a lot of families. And I also know people too are gonna be like, well, I can't afford this. So this is really embarrassing because everyone has theirs and I don't have mine. So that's really hard for people too. Another thing, because we have an influx of kids that are coming in and really working on anxiety and stress with them, I would really like to put some money towards creating some calming kits for our children and youth that consist of, you know, little cards or visuals for self-regulation, as well as some fidgets and things like that for them, and then hygiene kits for our clients as well. And of course, here's the volunteer plug. Spread the word. We're always looking and seeking volunteers for childcare for moms, dads, and at the active parenting program. The volunteers are so key so that the parents can, I don't want to say take a break, but so that they can be separated for a bit, so that teaching moment can happen with those parents. And so a lot of them can't afford childcare in order to come here. So we definitely want to be able to provide that for them. We also are seeking volunteers to assist in groups or leading groups. I'm open for anything. I don't believe in order to lead a group that it needs to be a counselor. I believe very strongly in knowledgeable and experienced people and peer support. I always think that is people's best starting point for things and their best support. We're looking at volunteers to help with some fundraising around here, teach courses. I'm always good if you want to come grab a paintbrush and help out here. I would absolutely love that. I cannot paint anymore. And work on some building repair. And of course, you know, we're hoping to branch out a little bit and consider doing some peer support for the moms, dads, and young parent program, in which case, you know, people can, in those groups, could have an extra little contact that they can, you know, pair up with after the groups are done. I've been told I'm a quick starter and I have very big visions, and I'm also super stubborn, so I make sure that they happen. But I want to thank you so much for this opportunity and giving me the chance to be able to talk about our programming. I am so indebted to our partners and to my wonderful supportive board that gives me a shake and gives me a good job, and my absolute wonderful supportive staff here. So we try to have fun. We got lots of laughs happening here. I think we're really supportive of each other, and we definitely want to be that for the community.
Saying thank you, Brenda, for wow, you guys are just doing amazing work. And I thought I knew your programs, but there was so many I had no idea that were available. And I think it's fantastic. You're just really reaching every age group and trying to meet the needs that are, you know, showing up right now, especially with COVID. We all know life has been challenging for all of us in this season. So, you know, I'm excited to hear about all the things that you're doing and how we can partner with you and support you. And so just thank you, Brenda and Roxy.